everybody. Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another story. Another story about Thanksgiving food. I know, we read it a lot, but I love Thanksgiving, and I love thinking about Thanksgiving food. And this book is about one of my favorite foods at Thanksgiving, and it's called Porcupine's Pie. Porcupine's Pie. Porcupine's going to make a pie in the fall time, and he has all the ingredients he needs except one thing, and he goes out looking for it. But something happens along the way that changes his plan a little bit, and we need to get into this book and find out what it is. Are you ready to get into this book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. Porcupine's Pie, written by Laura Renauld, illustrated by Jennie Poh. Porcupine prickled with excitement. It was fall feast day. Her mouth waters as she opened her pantry. 1 stick of butter, 2 handfuls of sugar, and 3 scoops of flour. In a pail, she had a pile of rosy red cranberries, just the right ingredients to make her famous cranberry pie. Wow, she's going to make a very yummy looking pie. Porcupine read her recipe. Step 1, wash the cranberries. She stepped into her favorite boots and waddled down the path towards the river. She has to wash the cranberries off before she can put them in the pie, so she has to take them to the river. Porcupine stopped to rest at the base of Squirrel's oak tree. Squirrel, Porcupine called, are you making your famous nut bread for fall feast day? Squirrel poked her head out of the nest. No, it's just plain nuts for me this year. Bread needs flour, and I have none. Oh, don't look so sad, Squirrel. I have flour to spare, said Porcupine. She's going to share her flour with Squirrel so he can make his famous nut bread. Squirrel scampered down the tree trunk. Really? Oh, thank you, Porcupine. The flour is in my pantry. Help yourself, said Porcupine. She's so generous. Porcupine continued towards the river when she waddled by Bear's cave. She called, Bear, are you making your famous honey cake for fall feast day? Bear lifted his nose from the book. No, it's just plain honey for me this year. Cake needs butter, and I have none. Oh, no. Bear wants to make something too, but he doesn't have any butter for his recipe. Butter, you say? How much do you need? Only half a stick. I have butter back in my den. Help yourself. Bear dropped his book and nearly gave Porcupine a hug. Thank you, Porcupine. She is so generous, and all the animals are so grateful. As Porcupine neared the river, Doe's thicket came into view. Doe, Porcupine called. Are you making your famous apple tart for feast day? Doe stepped out onto the trail. No, it's just plain apples for me this year. Tarts need sugar, and I have none. Oh, no, Doe doesn't have any sugar. I'd be happy to lend you some sugar. Help yourself. Doe's bright eyes widened. Porcupine, thank you. You have made this a very special fall feast day. Doe's happy now, too. At the river, Porcupine looked inside her pail. Oh, no, she gasped. Her pail was empty. I think the berries were falling out the whole time she was walking and talking to the other animals. Oh, but look. Bear sees the berries, and Squirrel sees the berries, and Doe sees the berries. Knock, knock, knock. Porcupine, are you making your famous cranberry pie for fall feast day? Say her friends. No, Porcupine answered. It's just plain pie crust for me this year. I lost my cranberries, and now I have none. Oh, she's so disappointed. She opened the door. Doe, Squirrel, and Bear had their famous culinary creations in one hand and an offering in the other. Leftover nuts, said Squirrel. A dribble of honey, said Bear. A few extra apples, said Doe. And a handful of cranberries, said Bear. Look, they brought all their leftovers and the cranberries that they found. I could just hug you, Porcupine beamed. If I can't make my famous cranberry pie, there's nothing better than a festive friendship pie. She's going to use all their ingredients and make a friendship pie. That's going to be the best pie ever. And look in the back of this book. It's the recipe for how to make a friendship pie. We could make a friendship pie, just like Porcupine.
Wow, what a great book! Porcupine has such great friends, and Porcupine's such a good friend. Porcupine went out to find the berries for his pie, but on the way he kept running into friends who needed something, and he kept saying, I can give you that, I can give you that. But then he lost all his berries, and then he didn't think he was going to be able to make a pie at all. But then his friends came along, and they brought him all kinds of new stuff to make a pie, and he made a friendship pie. A friendship pie. That must be the best pie ever. Look, the ingredients are right here. You could make a friendship pie. I could make a friendship pie. We just need to read about it in this book. And then we could share it with our friends like Porcupine shared with his. You know how much Dorothy loves books about friends. This was a great, great book, and I am so glad we read it together. I love sharing my friendships books with my friends. And if I could make a friendship pie, I would share it with you too, because I love that you're my friend. This was a fun book. I can't wait for Thanksgiving to see if I get a friendship pie. That would be a lot of fun. You know what else I'm going to be looking for on Thanksgiving? I'm going to be looking for you. And I hope you're having a great time with your family and your friends and all the food and all the pie. And remember what I told you before. Thanksgiving's a really busy day for Mom and Dad. And there's lots of family around and lots of friends. And you need to be on extra special good behavior. And whatever you do, obey. And obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy, because I'm going to be sitting right here, ready to read another book to you. Bye!
Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.